Welcome back to episode 36 of On the Wild. I'm Riley Keenan. With me, as always, Anuj Basker.
I feel like The Rock holding these mics.
Yeah, like you're about to cut a promo.
Yeah. Like the arms are gone. I'm like,
yeah.
But
yeah, we got we got half upper body action going on now with this setup.
I feel like I'm about to cut a promo on you.
Yeah. Bro, I'm not going to lie.
What's your name?
Riley.
It doesn't. No, I'm playing. I'm playing.
Bro, I always loved The Rock's promos, but I never liked The Rock, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
We were big wrestling fans growing up.
Yeah.
I never forgave him for beating up my boy John Cena.
I was a big Undertaker dude.
Dude, Undertaker terrified me.
He was my favorite.
But he was still sick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so I still can't believe he lost the streak. Never thought that was going to happen.
No.
But, dude, going back. Whoa. Going back to The Rock, though, like, I get he's this huge movie star, but I don't get how he's, like, the highest paid one.
See, I haven't watched a lot of his movies. I watched a few, but not too many, so I don't really have an opinion on him as an actor.
Yeah.
Good-looking dude.
Good-looking dude, jacked.
That's about it, though.
But, like, $50 million for a movie. Holy.
One movie?
For one movie. He gets paid, like, $30 million more than Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay. I don't know how that works.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, literally, I'm pretty sure he has a thing in his contract, too, where he can't lose in a movie. Like, he can't lose a fight. Which is, like, what's the point of going to the movie? Like, you know he's going to win.
Well, he usually plays the good character.
Yeah.
So he's going to win regardless.
Yeah. And even, I'm pretty sure he's doing, like, a superhero movie soon. It's like...
Black Adam?
Yeah, you can't do a superhero movie and not lose, a fight.
Yeah.
So
that's the whole point.
Yeah, the whole point is that you lose and then you win.
Yeah. I think Black Adam is a villain, though.
He's like an anti-hero, I think.
Is he?
Like, people like him, but he's...
I thought he was like Green Lantern's, like...
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe. I never saw Green Lantern. Apparently it's horrible.
Yeah, it was bad.
Really?
Really bad.
I'm pretty sure, like... You know the guy that plays Korg?
Well, the person who played Korg is the director of the movie.
Right? Yeah, I think he was like he was in the movie with Ryan Reynolds, Green Lantern, and then they pretend as if they never did the movie. Like every interview, people are like, it's crazy that you guys are in another movie together. They're like, we've never done a movie together.
That's funny.
It's that bad.
It's like George Clooney. He like apologized for playing Batman.
Yeah, that was horrible.
It was awful. As a kid, though, loved it.
Oh, it was pretty sick as a kid.
It was my favorite movie when I was like a little kid.
It was Penguin and...
No, it was Mr. Freeze.
Or Mr. Freeze and...
Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
And I guess Bane. Bane was like her henchman.
It had Arnold in it, right?
Yeah, he was Mr. Freeze.
Yeah. Oh, man. Going into it, it sounded sick.
It was stupid.
It's
like,
really
they were like... He had a bat credit card.
Oh, God.
The skates. Have you ever watched it?
When I was younger, I did.
Okay. Well, he had like the bat, like Mr. Freeze came in and he like froze the whole like museum wherever they were.
Oh. Were they like?
And then there was a close up of their feet and they just clicked them like the Wizard of Oz, like
yeah.
And then skates came out.
What the hell, dude? I swear those movies they would always try so hard. Like the first Batman, it was a little cringy, but it was still like, okay, this is a good movie. And then everyone after that,
it like defied gravity. Like they fell out of the sky and then Robin had like a thing on his feet, like it was a surfboard. I think he said cowabunga too.
Oh goodness!
Great movie, great movie.
You know what I watched the other day? I watched the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie from when I was a kid.
The live action one?
Not the like the new ones with like Megan Fox.
Yeah.
No, those are horrible. But
I like those as a kid.
I
liked a lot of things as a kid that are just not good.
Yeah. No, it was like from 2007 or something. It was like when Leo and Raph are like fighting on the roof in the rain.
Okay.
Honestly, still as good as I thought it was. It was a great movie.
I have what's the blue one? Leonardo's the blue one, right? Yeah, I have like a teddy bear of him.
Really?
Like a big one.
Oh, dude. There's a show out. It's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles vs. Batman. It's literally me versus you. Our childhoods against each other.
Yeah, my childhood was literally the Batman animated series from the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
And like the 06 reboot one.
They're both great.
Underrated. The 06 one, underrated.
Yeah, I would always watch the Teletoon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Not the new ones. Those are horrible, but...
Yeah.
And, I mean, you could say, like, oh, we've grown out of it. But even then, it's like... The fighting and everything is just completely different.
And it's like wrestling, too. Like, I wouldn't say I've grown out of it.
Yeah.
It's just...
It's not as good as it
used
used
to
be.
It's just not good.
Like... Hate to say it, but Vince McMahon, like, at a certain point, you got to retire, buddy. Because there's only so many storylines you can come up with.
Oh, yeah.
And I will say this. I get the whole thing, it's fake. at the end of the
So
day,
is your favorite movie.
So are your favorite movies and TV shows. It's literally you write a script, and the actors, they're basically actors. They're just trained to fight each other.
Yeah.
The punches may not
And
land.
it hurts.
Yeah, the punches may not land, but if you
They're
throw
landing.
a guy,
They're landing on wood.
yeah, if you throw a guy through a table, there's no way to fake that.
Yeah.
Like, if you're hitting a guy with a ladder.
You jump off a rope. You come and
Yeah.
he moves out of the way, and you smack your face on the floor.
That
it
hurts. Blood? That's real.
You get hit by a chair. Hurts.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Even if you're hitting them, like, you may not hit them in the head anymore. Thank goodness they don't, because
Yeah.
CTE is a thing. But
Yeah. Concussions.
you hit a guy in the back with a chair, it's gonna hurt a lot.
There's enough documentaries out there that you can learn about, like,
Oh, yeah.
just how much of a toll it takes
Brutal.
on your body.
Yeah, thank goodness they're like a lot safer about it now. But
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's for everything. Like
yeah,
football too.
yeah. I mean, they're acting as if like football's like gone soft, but like at the end of the day, like you got to protect the players.
Yeah. I mean,
Like I think the taunting calls are a bit ridiculous.
Yeah,
but
taunting's stupid, but it gets to a certain point where, like, what's more important, like the big hit or the dude's future?
Yeah, like would you rather have a guy have the greatest hit on Patrick Mahomes you've ever seen and Patrick Mahomes never play again, or the hit never happen because
Yeah.
it's a penalty and the guy wouldn't do it?
Exactly.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like going back to the Batman though, a couple people have been asking me because we talk about Batman and we've talked about Marvel quite a bit. Marvel and DC, if one had to go, all the movies and shows with it, you got to
That's
keep
so-
one.
That's so hard for me because I don't really like the Marvel superheroes, but the movies are great.
Yeah, that was the same thing I'm thinking. Like I couldn't care less about
But
really any
Superman,
of the DC.
Superman sucks.
He can win everything. Like he's got kryptonite.
He has no, well, he has a weakness, but like,
Yeah, it's so hard.
who's gonna get it?
Yeah, who's gonna grab like Thanos? I mean, they're not in the same universe, but like
Who's really gonna get kryptonite except for like Batman?
Yeah.
He's a billionaire.
he'll find a way.
Who else is gonna get it?
Yeah.
No
if
one.
you can't lose, then what's the point?
I mean, I guess Doomsday killed him one time.
Yeah.
Killed him one time.
Killed him one time. killed him dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the way I think about it is like the Marvel movies are way better, but at the end of the day, like The Dark Knight to me is the greatest.
That is my
superhero
favorite.
movie
That's
ever.
my favorite movie.
And yeah, and if I take away, if DC ceases to exist, I probably never become a movie watcher because The Dark Knight was what made me love movies.
Right. I'm kicking Marvel.
I'm kicking Marvel too, and that sucks to do. But also, yeah, like Joker too.
We're about to
That's
get
such a great
flamed
movie. Oh
for
yeah,
that.
yeah. Like listen, the MCU is better than the DCU,
Obviously.
but at the end of the day,
Is there even a DCU?
no. But I'm really hoping Joker is the begin. I hope Joker is like the Iron Man to the DCU. I think we talked about this. Like I hope
We
the
definitely
Joker
have.
and then like the first Batman movie is like.
Oh
the
yeah,
next
we've talked about that. We were hoping that it's
I hope so, because like they're both
connected.
pretty dark, and it would just make sense for that to be kind of like the
yeah.
catalyst. 'Cause
It's just the only thing I see with that is like timing, because that when does Joker take place? The 1980s, 70s,
yeah, I think so.
and
well,
Batman's supposed to be modern.
well, that's the thing. Batman will grow up
Yeah.
because he was
well,
young
yeah.
in the movie.
But then wouldn't Joker be like?
He would be
70?
he'd probably be like 50, 60 years old.
Are you sure? Because like he was
Well,
like.
Yeah,
I feel like
but
he was an older dude.
he was probably
in the
like in
movie.
his 40s.
So
maybe.
if this is like a 20, 30-year jump.
They also have the excuse though that because he had mental illness and he had so many problems like with his brain because he had so much brain trauma from
Right.
like injuries and stuff.
Yeah.
They can make it seem that he looked older because of those issues. So like he could have been like 30 years old in the movie or 25, but
Okay.
because he had so many problems, he looked like that.
I mean, to be honest, no one would really care.
yeah, I could care less if he looked 50 and he should be 90. Like I
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah. That's another thing for movies about me. Like, people care too much about the details, which is understandable, but at the same time, just let it
Yeah,
go.
like if it's a regular movie, continuity doesn't really matter. But if you're making like a drama, if you're trying to win an award, then you have to have continuity. In your
Yeah,
movies.
like, I remember we've talked about this. I don't think we talked about it on here, but like off air.
Yeah.
About The Dark Knight Rises. And one of the biggest gripes about it was when he got out of the prison,
Yeah.
he got to Gotham. How did he get there? Well, he had 3 weeks.
He had 3
'Cause-
weeks and he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
like
Like, he's Bruce Wayne at the end of the day.
yeah,
And while he did lose all his money, he's still Bruce Wayne.
exactly. And no one ever like mentions like the whole Batman Begins journey of getting to the actual temple or whatever it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
He's just there.
yeah, he was just there. Like who cares? He's
Yeah.
a superhero.
It's a movie.
It's a movie, yeah. Like,
relax.
But you're not gonna take a 20-minute segment of the movie just to show how he got there. It's like you don't.
Because
have
if
time
that
for
happened, people would say it's boring.
yeah, people say, "Oh, why was the movie 3 hours long?" Well, we had to show you a journey because you had a problem with it. Yeah.
No one cares about the. Well, people care about the journey, but do they really?
Yeah, if the journey's not the important part, who gives a crap? Like,
Yeah.
whatever.
We just want to see Batman.
Yeah, exactly. Do you like Rises or Begins better?
Rises. I think Rises gets too much hate.
Yeah, like Bane is just so sick in that movie. Like
Yeah,
every
like,
line of dialogue
I
he has is incredible.
I understand like people saying, "Oh, there's too much going on."
Yeah,
Which like yeah.
it's a little over
But-
the top, but
I mean,
it's the
it was the-
conclusion to a trilogy of a
Yeah.
superhero movie,
because you had to live up to the expectations of the Dark Knight.
which is impossible.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you have to kind of just throw everything at a wall.
Yeah, I will say though, like Batman Begins is probably like top 2, maybe top 3 like origin stories of just like
Yeah.
they showed how grounded he was. It made sense why he was the way he was and like how he got his money. There was no like questions to be asked.
Yeah.
So they did a really good job there. That's why I'm so curious about this new one. Like, it seems as if it's not an origin story. Like he's already Batman.
I don't want it to be an origin story. We don't have to
Yeah,
see.
we've seen
We
it
don't
so
have to
many
see the
times.
parents get shot again.
Yeah, that's why like the new Spider-Man was like kind of spot on. Like the first with Toby and Andrew, like we saw their the uncle die and
Yeah.
we know his dad died or whatever. But in this one, it's like he's already Spider-Man. It's like you're just meeting him now. Tony already knows who he is. Like,
Yeah.
it's a cool way to do it because you can just jump right into it.
Well, his origin story wasn't even like his first movie. It was Civil War.
Yeah, it
wasn't
was Civil War. He like showed up to fight against Captain America's squad, I guess.
Which great movie, by the way.
Really good movie. I top 5 Marvel.
I remember we had to watch it for
a
class.
for a politics and film assignment.
And then I didn't like it because I was watching it for a class, so I was looking
Yeah.
for stuff to write about for
Exactly.
my essay. And I watched it again. I was like, "Damn, this is like a good ass movie."
Pretty sure like my whole essay was about like one scene.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
That scene in the boardroom where they're going over like, hey, you guys can't do this
Yeah.
anymore.
What are they called? The papers. The
Acadia Accords or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Dude, I love how we're like reveling over Marvel movies right now, but we said we'll get rid of them.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I will like. There's so many good ones, but if I
Yeah.
had to watch one movie, I'm gonna watch The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, Infinity War is great. Ragnarok's great.
Yeah,
Endgame's
Endgame.
great.
I'm sorry, it's gotta
Yeah.
go. Like
Yeah.
I cannot pick Dark Knight.
Yeah.
I'll
I-
watch that movie all day.
I could watch that movie every day.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
no
when-
lie, I
yeah.
could.
Like when they say those, like people, I'm sure you get a little sick of it, but at the end of the day, it's like I'm not gonna hate it.
I'm always gonna smile when Joker comes on my screen.
literally, he's always gonna have my attention.
Yeah.
So
Even Two-Face.
yeah,
Love him.
I wonder what it's gonna be like in the new one with Two-Face.
Well, I
Is-
think we talked about this when we talked about the Batman a couple weeks
Oh,
ago.
I guess yeah.
About like how this is based on the Long Halloween. So this is pretty much a Two-Face origin
That's
movie,
true.
most likely.
Yeah, it's crazy how many people they're gonna have in there. Like they got the
Yeah.
Riddler, they got the Penguin, they got Catwoman, and if Two-Face shows up.
See, that's the thing with this movie. Like, you could also have a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
So it has to be a longer movie.
I think it's like 240, 230.
Yeah,
Like
you
it's
have
gonna
to.
be long.
They have to develop like a lot of characters.
Yeah.
You have Batman, you have Gordon, you have Riddler, Catwoman, Penguin.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he is Penguin already. I feel like he's gonna become that.
Yeah.
Two-Face, who's Harvey Dent right now. It's a lot of characters.
Yeah. Did you know Jonah Hill got offered to the Penguin?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, I wish he did it because I would have been so perfect. But he didn't do it because he doesn't want to be like known as like the chubbier actor, which is like I wouldn't want to be known as that obviously
Hmm.
because Penguin's chubbier than the usual people, so it makes sense why they asked him. But I kind of like his reasoning for saying no. But at the same time, like imagine Jonah Hill as the Penguin, that'd be sick. He's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But Colin Farrell's the Penguin,
Yeah.
which I didn't know how they were gonna pull that off because he's like pretty ripped. I'm pretty sure. But I think you see a clip with him with like makeup on. It looks
Yeah.
insane. Like how far makeup artists have gone and like everything is unbelievable.
Dude,
Like,
if we went in, they can make us look like we're 84 years old.
yeah, it's absurd. Like they give so much credit to like directors.
Like legitimately 84 years old. Not
Yeah.
even like, oh, you're wearing makeup. Like
Yeah.
literally.
Someone will like you could do bad grandpa on the street and people would believe it.
Yeah.
It's no like screenwriters, directors, and actors get so much credit, but like the stunt doubles, the makeup artists, the people that make the actual music for the movies, like they are so underrated because that's what really brings the people in. You go, oh wow, this is real. This is making me feel emotion. Like they deserve more credit for
Right.
sure.
I agree. But moving on to the NFL, we wanted to touch on doing our power rankings through,
Yeah.
3 weeks. But I don't know about you, but this has been one of the weirdest seasons
Very weird. Like-
there's been in a long time.
Result wise, at least for me. Like,
Yeah.
Steelers beat the Bills week 1. Looks like Steelers are legit, and then they fumble the bag weeks 2 and 3.
Yeah.
And the Bills look really good. And then the Ravens are like, I want to put them in my top 5, but it's like they barely beat Detroit, and then they lose to the Raiders in a tough game, but they also beat the Chiefs. It's like,
Yeah.
and the Chiefs are 1 and 2. Like,
Chiefs are
what
one.
the hell
Chiefs
is
are
going?
last in their division.
Yeah, what is going on?
The Raiders and Broncos are 3-0.
The Colts are 0 and 3.
Which
They've
their
had a tough
schedule,
schedule. They've had a
their
tough
schedule.
Yeah.
But even then, I would expect them. I thought they were going to win the division, so I thought they beat Tennessee.
I
But
thought they were going to be a lot better than Tennessee.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they still could be. We really don't know.
There's so
only
much time left, but we wanted to do kind of like a power ranking.
Yeah.
Top 5, just like of who we think has, been good so far.
Mhm.
Do you want to start? Or
I guess. Should I start at number 1?
you want to just like rotate?
Yeah. Okay.
Start at number 5.
Okay. Number 5, I almost didn't put him in, but I'm going to put him in. Cleveland. Number 5.
Yeah.
Here's why. Against the Bears, week 3, they played horrendous offensively. Couldn't make a play on 3rd down, sacked on 4th down multiple occasions, and they still put up 26 points on a good Bears defense.
Yeah.
I mean, Hicks did come out of the game at one point. Mack was out of the game, but they were still dominant defensively. Still put up 26. And Nick Chubb didn't really play that well, but defensively, finally they show they can be shut down. And obviously, it was Justin Fields' debut. Nagy, you set him up horribly.
Yeah.
What was that game plan? Like, from the get-go, I was like, okay, they're probably going to run the ball a lot. But then they would run it first 2 plays of every drive, then 3rd down, everyone knows they're throwing the ball. Boom, sack. It's
Bro, I was telling my dad, like, the only way I think Justin Fields fails is if the Bears mess him up.
Yeah.
And they've started to already.
Yeah. Like, as much as I want to give credit to the Browns defense there, it was a horrible game plan that Nagy created. You had so much time in this offseason to figure out a game plan for Fields, which is what you have to do with a dynamic quarterback like that. They were playing as if they had Andy Dalton still playing, as if they had a stationary quarterback. They have a dynamic guy in Justin Fields who can run the ball, but he can throw out of the pocket. And every single time they were just throwing within the numbers.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing here?
Honestly, he's better when he's outside the pocket.
Yeah,
he's
is
one of those guys. And I saw a stat the other day, like, he had on average, he had 0.78 seconds to throw.
Yeah, that was just
which is
absurd.
Insane.
Not enough time. Even Brady can't do that consistently.
No.
But going back to the Browns being number 5, I mean, I've liked Baker Mayfield so far out of the gate. He hasn't thrown a lot of touchdowns, but in both weeks, they haven't really been trying to score in the second half. They're just trying to run the clock out for most of the time. I mean, they're such a good running team. They can do that. But his completion percentage has been great. He hasn't been making too many mistakes. His interceptions, like this week 2 was bad, but week 1 was an unlucky play. Obviously, the running's been great. Odell Beckham's back in lineup. He looked really good in the first game. Offensive line's been great as usual.
Right.
I will say, a lot of people talk about the improvement in their defense and their secondary. I think they have a good secondary, but they do allow the big play a lot. We saw it week 1 against the Chiefs when Tyreek Hill did it. They're not good in man coverage, at least with star players. They have to play zone, but I think they've made a lot of improvements. I sneak them in at 5. 1, because I almost had the Ravens there, but just because they've been so inconsistent with how they've played. I think they're going to be a stellar team, but yeah, I'll go Browns here at 5.
For me at 5, even though they're 1 and 2, I'm going to put the Chiefs in. Just because of how bad they've played.
Yeah.
Which doesn't necessarily make them deserve to be in the top 5, but for how bad they've played, they've been in every game.
Yeah.
Despite, they had 4 turnovers against the Chargers, and it came down to a last-second touchdown by the Chargers to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
So for that reason, I'm going to put the Chiefs at 5. A lot of teams I thought about, maybe the Cardinals, because I don't have the Cardinals in my top 5. You could say they're a top 5 team because they're 3-0, but they struggled against Jacksonville at times. And in all honesty, they should have lost to Minnesota. Minnesota missed the field goal.
they coughed it up at the end there.
Yeah, so obviously impressive in week 1 against Tennessee, but they've struggled against 2 teams that, really good teams would beat.
Yeah.
Even though Minnesota, I think, is better than what their record is at 1 and 2. I think they're a better team than that. But Jacksonville is they're a mess.
Yeah.
They're not good. And to struggle against them, I'd push them out of the top 5 and put Kansas City in. Despite them being 1 and 2, I think they're going to turn it around. And I don't want to overreact to, 1 or 2 losses. Because I know what Kansas City is.
Exactly.
Despite them struggling on defense right now.
Which kind of goes perfectly into mine, because at number 4 I have the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So we can stay on the same page here. Despite being 1 and 2, I know that they're going to be a dominant team and obviously a title contender. I would put them higher, but they've had a bad start. Mahomes has been a bit not lazy, but he's been
He's trying to do too much.
yeah, he's not being safe. Like he obviously he doesn't have to be safe because he can make the big play, but you have to be kind of conservative at some points in time, especially when it's a close game. But for me, it's the defense that kind of holds them back, and why you'll see why I have number 3 where I do. But I think offensively they can do whatever they want. They're up there with anyone else in the league. But defensively, like when you take Tyrann Mathieu out of the equation, like they don't have much, and they struggle with the secondary. Their pass rush is half decent at times. Like I just don't know if they can stay in games, but their offense can take them so far. And I know that when it comes to playoff time, their defense knows how to step up.
Yeah, and there's a difference between Kansas City being 1-2 and the Falcons being 1-2.
Exactly.
There's a huge difference there.
Yeah.
Kansas City is going to make the playoffs, and they're going to make a deep push into the playoffs. Atlanta maybe is a middle of the pack in the draft.
Yeah.
So there's a huge difference. This early,
it's not the first time that they've struggled off the bat. Like obviously they're usually good in September.
This is the first time.
It's the first time, but I mean,
long time.
like they lose to the Raiders last year. I think they also lost to someone else that was completely unexpected. But they've had tough losses where it's been like, what are we doing? They almost
lost to the Falcons last.
Yeah, I mean they almost lost to the Browns week 1, like without Odell in the lineup. So like they're a team that the games are coming too close, but they're going to figure it out. Andy Reid's such a great coach, and they have a great staff.
Also, I hope
him.
he's okay. He went to the hospital after the game. I know he's out now, so I'm not sure if he's going to be there this week or not. But
hopefully he's back.
He seems to be okay, which is good.
But yeah, like we both have faith in the Chiefs and in those guys to down the line. They're gonna figure it out. I can't not have them in my top 5 because I got them in the Super Bowl, so that'd be whack. So yeah. But who do you have at number 4?
I have the Dallas Cowboys.
They're on my bubble.
Yeah.
But yeah,
they've looked really good.
Really good
for the first 3 weeks. They looked great against Tampa Bay, although they did lose.
Yeah, but to only lose by 2, which is pretty incredible.
They look great, and a controversial call at the end.
Yeah.
The pass interference. I wouldn't have called it because I feel like both of them were fighting.
Mm-hmm.
But, that could have been a pass interference, and who knows what happens after that. Beat the Chargers last week.
Which is impressive. Like a really good Chargers team that beat the Chiefs, beat Washington.
And the refereeing was a bit iffy in that game against the Chargers, but, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And absolutely destroyed Philadelphia in week 3 on Monday night. They look great. Offense is good. But we expected that. The defense, though,
it's stepped up.
Yeah.
To only give up 17 to the Chargers is admirable.
And how much did they give up to Philadelphia? I turned
20. I think it was 41-21.
Yeah. So and I think the last touchdown was garbage time.
Yeah. At that point, they're just airing the ball out.
Yeah. So they've looked great, and they don't have a lot of their key players. They don't have Lyle Collins. They don't have Michael Gallup, Marcus Lawrence, Keanu Neal. They're losing some pieces, and they still look great. So once they get everybody back, I think they're going to be a really good team in the NFC. I don't think they'll make the NFC Championship or anything like that, but I think they're for sure going to win the NFC East.
It's also
in my
great.
opinion.
It's also great that they have like that 1-2 punch at running back now because Zeke hasn't lived up to expectations, but Pollard's played incredible.
Even Zeke looked good against Philadelphia.
Yeah, Zeke looked really good at Philadelphia.
Like Philadelphia, I don't think is the greatest team, but they have a good defensive front, and they ran the ball all over them. So, and they're not even at full strength on the offensive line.
Yeah, and Dak is still like. Obviously, he's ready to go, but he's still slowly working his way back into the league.
He's looked really good. He's leading the league in completion percentage.
Yeah, and I think he'll lead the league in yards by the end of the season.
No, I think Carr is going to run away with that.
Really? I don't know. I just feel like he'll kind of drop off at some point.
He's thrown for 403 straight.
Yeah, I think just once Jacobs comes back, I feel like they're going to run the ball a lot more because if they are a team that's going to be in the playoff spot, they're going to have to run the clock out. They can't just air it out every game.
I feel like Dallas's defense is better now, so he won't have to throw for 400 yards every game.
Yeah,
to get him back into it. So,
man, I still can't believe I picked Jameis Winston to. Well, it was a bold take, but I had him most yards. I wish I said most touchdowns because that's a bit more of a chance after that week 1. But yeah, I guess moving on to my number 3 here, I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. They had a tough week 1, but it was
too.
Yeah, it was a tough week 1 and a good game against the Steelers, but they dominated Washington in their defense. Obviously, the Washington's defense isn't as good as it was last year, and I think they'll figure it out as the season goes on. But to put up 40 plus on them is pretty great. Josh Allen's looked really good. I mean, Diggs hasn't even really shown up that much yet, and they're still, whooping teams out here. And
I think that's just from the attentions that he's getting from defenses now.
Yeah, for sure. But also, I put him over the Chiefs because, if I'm putting the Bills against the Chiefs right now, I just trust the Bills' defense so much more to be locked down that You know, we know Tre'Davious White, we know Poyer, we know these guys are going to make these big stops. I trust them more than most of the teams in the league. Yeah, I like the Bills. I don't think they're playing as good as they can, but going down the line, like right now, I'd have them to win the AFC.
Man. My number 3 team is the Browns. I feel like I defend the Browns more on this than you.
Yeah. I'll believe it when I see it kind of thing with
Yeah.
the Browns. I think they're a really good team. I put them at 5.
I think they've looked really good despite them losing to the Chiefs in week 1. That was a great performance all the way around. It came down to really like 2 plays.
And I mean, Chubb doesn't fumble the ball.
Yeah, and if the punter doesn't drop the ball.
Oh God.
And those aren't things that you can say like, oh well, you're just saying what ifs. Like that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
like that.
Chubb doesn't fumble.
Yeah,
and Gillen is one of the best punters in the league, to be honest.
Right. So I think that if they had another go at Kansas City, again, it would be a great game.
Yeah.
Who would come out on top? Who knows? But I think I picked them to go to the Super Bowl this year, so I have high hopes for them or high expectations.
Yeah.
So I got the Browns at number 3, and they've looked good in their other 2 games as well, like you said about the Bears game. And you had them at number 5, so you already went over all that. But even in week 2, despite Houston giving them a little bit of a scare, they pulled away late.
Yeah. I feel like Tyrod Taylor had a bit of a chip on his shoulder in that game too. He's going against the guy.
Revenge game.
Playing the guy that took his job.
Yeah.
So I mean, he didn't really take. He got hurt.
Yeah.
To be fair, Tyrod Taylor wasn't that bad at that point in the year either.
I remember this one throw he made against New Orleans on like a 4th down. It's a 50-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's like, what is going on? Yeah, when that game started, I honestly thought the Texans were going to win because he was playing so good.
Yeah.
But yeah. Moving on to number 2 here. I feel like we're going to have the same top 2. But
I'd assume so
Yeah.
because we haven't mentioned those teams yet.
Yeah. I'm going with Tampa Bay Buccaneers number 2.
Yeah, they're my number 2 too.
And I'm not just saying it because the Rams won. I mean, I guess we could say the Rams are number 1.
The Rams are the best team
Yeah.
in the NFL right now.
It's not just because they won that game. I just think, like, defensively, they're so shut down, and Matthew Stafford looks so good in that lineup.
He's so
Like,
good.
Cooper
dude.
Kupp was already a star, but he's making him look like a superstar out
yeah.
here. Like,
Yeah.
it's incredible what he's
And
been
Aaron
able to
Donald was just.
do. Yeah. Love
I
the
mean,
guy.
Do we really need to talk about Aaron
No.
Donald anymore? Like,
No. Jalen Ramsey, like, everyone's making big plays out there for them. It looks good.
And they're confident.
Yeah.
They're like one of those good teams that like they know they're good.
Mm-hmm.
And they expect it.
The thing too is like the way I look at like them and the Bills, like they don't have like a number 1 guy at running back, like oh wow, this guy's gonna run the ball really well. But the Rams are so different in the way that just like you said, the confidence of it is like they feel like they're gonna get 6 yards out of each rush, no matter what or who's running the ball. So it's fun to see. But going back to number 2 here with the Buccaneers, Tom Brady's looked fantastic coming out the gates.
I think this is his best start of his career.
Yeah, it very well might be. And then Gronk has been incredible too. Like, who would have really expected? Like, when he chooses not to block, he's gonna get the ball. Like, he can catch better than most people in the league.
Yeah.
Obviously, their wide receiver core is incredible. It's getting everybody back defensively. Now they bring in Richard Sherman. We find that out this morning, I think it was.
Yeah.
Which I can't remember what the contract. It was just 1 year, right?
It's just a 1-year contract.
Yeah, but that's a huge pickup for them. That'll help their secondary out a lot.
Yeah, they have a lot of injuries there, so.
Yeah.
And once they get everybody back, they're going to be very deep.
Exactly. But yeah, I think those are the solidified 1 and 2 for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be, if they do face in the NFC Championship,
Yeah.
that game is going to be a brawl.
Yeah, and I think this is just showing how good of a coach Sean McVay was for Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Because you look how good Stafford's been, and the as big of a jump as they've taken with Stafford just shows you how much Sean McVay molded Jared Goff into becoming a good quarterback.
Absolutely. And he's been good in Detroit so far, too.
Well,
He's been better than I expected, I'll say this. I didn't think with, Galladay also leaving, I didn't think he had that many options. And I thought, like,
give the ball to DeAndre Swift.
give the ball to DeAndre Swift. Oh my goodness.
God.
Like, Jamal Williams is so good, but DeAndre Swift has the opportunity to be a top 5 running back.
Literally, he's on my fantasy team, by the way. That's why I'm so mad about this. But he's going for 25 points in 2 of the first 3 weeks, and he's splitting carries.
Yeah, he's splitting carries. It's ridiculous.
You give him the lead role, and who knows?
Yeah.
He's already a top 3 running back
I feel like
fantasy.
they need to, like, obviously Swift can be a dual threat. He can catch the ball as well. But I feel like they need him to be the elusive back and then use Jamal as, like, the power guy. The guy that you need a yard, okay, put him in the game.
By the way, Jamal Williams is hilarious.
So funny. I've been watching all those press conferences with him. He's so jokes.
This is the one about, like, girls, get you a guy that watches anime.
Anime, yeah.
And he's like,
they won't hurt you.
yeah.
Yeah.
We know battle.
Yeah. Yeah, what a good dude, man. but I remember watching those Packers games. Like, I love Aaron Jones, but I was like, man, he deserves more opportunity. And at the same time, I'm saying we should give him less opportunity because we want Swift to get the ball.
Yeah.
I want him to be a running back number one on some team. Go to Buffalo. Go to Buffalo. Go to the Rams, maybe. Like, go somewhere where you're going to get
Well,
a
the
lot
Rams
of
lost Cam
opportunity.
Akers
Yeah.
to torn ACL.
I mean, it would work out.
Imagine if they had Cam Akers right now.
Oh, my goodness.
Because he's a lead running back.
He's a beast. I can't stop thinking about Todd Gurley.
Oh,
If
yeah.
he never fell off the wagon.
Well, it's because of his knees.
Yeah, it's kind of the injuries, but imagine Todd
if-
Gurley on that team right now.
If
Like,
you could have, I'm not going to say one because that's unfair,
Mhm.
3 athletes who got injured, if you were to kind of like have them be healthy and have them have a full career, who would you want to be healthy?
Okay, Derrick Rose, I feel like is the obvious answer.
Yeah, yeah.
We need to see what he can
Derrick
do with
Rose.
his career. Sidney Crosby. That's a huge one for me because he got 2 concussions in the prime of his career. He lost out on 2 MVPs, a scoring title, possibly a Stanley Cup. He could have been up there in the conversation with greatest of all time if he never got hurt.
Right.
Third, I almost want to say Todd Gurley, just because like I remember like when he was really coming into the league, like we talked about him all the time. He was probably my favorite player. Like we would do Madden fantasy drafts, and he would be my first pick every time,
Mhm.
even though you didn't need a running back that early.
Yeah.
I just really wanted him on my team.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would have liked to see Todd Gurley have a longer.
I'd
career.
say, yeah, Derrick Rose. Robert Griffin III.
Oh man, yeah, what a beast he was for Washington.
Dude, I loved Robert Griffin III when
was
he
so
got into
fun
the
to
league.
watch.
Because he was just cool. He
Yeah.
had the sleeve, he had the glove.
Yeah, like the
was
pink
so-
mouth guard, I think.
Yeah, for the BCA,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
they don't do anymore. I don't
Yeah,
know.
why don't they do
I
that
don't know
anymore?
why. But the third one, who would the third one be?
There's so many too.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
One of them I was thinking of, it wasn't injury, but I would have liked to see Jordan not retire because I wanted to know how he would have done against the Rockets.
You know what's an underrated one? Brandon Roy.
Oh wow, and Odin,
Yeah, Greg Oden too.
Greg Oden as well, like both
Yeah.
of them.
I saw something that when Oden, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Brandon Roy played together, I think they were like 50 and 12.
Yeah, incredible record, and I guess they probably would have never got Lillard, but
Mm-hmm.
that big 3 would have been real nice.
Brandon Roy's an underrated one, or Tracy McGrady too.
Tracy McGrady, yeah, wow. Yao Ming, you could even talk about. His career was cut
There's
short.
so many players whose careers just got. What am I saying?
Yeah.
There's so many athletes whose athletes just got. Oh my God! There's so many athletes whose careers got ruined by injuries.
Yeah. It sucks. It really does. And
Yeah.
even like you see like growing up as a kid, like playing sports, I've seen kids like never be able to play again because of one injury. It's just so
Yeah.
sad to see. But yeah, I guess we'll end it on the saddest note possible.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below, and we'll see y'all next week. Take it easy.
Stay well.
Peace.